Elsewhere now, Indian security forces have detained another 30 people overnight in Kashmir. The arrests were made in Srinagar, where youth pelted stones at paramilitary police in recent days.
Tensions run high as the region remains in lockdown, 2 weeks after India revoked its autonomy. Over the past days, authorities have gradually restored landlines and phone services. They also ordered schools to reopen yesterday. Though reports say the schools remain mostly deserted.
Meanwhile, U.S. President Donald Trump has urged Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi to reduce tensions with Pakistan over the disputed region. During the conversation, Mr. Modi stressed the importance of creating a regional environment free from terror and violence.
Now for the latest, we cross over to Rebecca Bundan in Mumbai. Rebecca, what do we know about the latest arrests? Hundreds have been detained. What do the authorities intend to do with all of them?
Well, reportedly, this is part of thousands of arrests that have taken place in Kashmir, and that's since the Indian government revoked Kashmir's special status on August the 5th. There have been a series of what have been described as preventive measures that have been taken by authorities following that move to revoke Article 370. Now, these measures have included that near communications blackout, also a curfew-like situation. Now, we don't have official confirmation on the numbers of arrests that have actually taken place, but some reports are suggesting that we're talking about numbers that could be over 4,000. And these have taken place under the Public Safety Act, which actually allows for them to be held for 2 years, which is a slight concern at the moment. But really, what the government has been trying to do and authorities have been trying to do is look at preventive measures. They're trying to prevent unrest and violence breaking out. That's what they've talked about. There have been protests in the region. This seems to be part of that. The suggestion is from some analysts that perhaps they would not really necessarily want to hold people for too long in this situation. But reportedly, many of these people have actually been flown out of Kashmir because the prisons over there are full at the moment.
Rebecca, according to some reports, schools and streets remain deserted.
So that's right. So there have been some, to some extent, there has been an easing of some of these restrictions with, over the weekend, landlines being restored this week. We have seen some schools that officially have reopened. However, it seems that parents are still very reluctant to send their children out to school because of the uncertainty about the situation and because there are these ongoing reports about protests. Also, the communication situation, although some landlines may have been restored, it seems that pretty quickly mobile phone networks and the clampdown on the internet, that went straight back into place over the weekend. So it's very, very difficult for people to communicate, and that makes parents even more reluctant to send their children to school until they perhaps have more connectivity and certainty and knowledge about what's going on in this situation. As you mentioned, President Trump, the US President Trump, he spoke to both Narendra Modi, India's Prime Minister, and Imran Khan of Pakistan on Monday, and on Twitter he's been urging the two sides to work towards reducing tensions. But at the moment, it is an ongoing tense situation in that region.
Thanks for that. Rebecca Bundan speaking to us from Mumbai.